I've said it for years and years and years. We do not operate like a big football club. If you don't act like a big club, in terms of what you're willing to do on the pitch.
Champagne tastes beer money, isn't it? Like
the thing is, that's what irritates me. They don't have beer money. They've got plenty of money. There's one common denominator, and it always has been ENIC and the ownership.
Do you feel like hostages in your own football club? Like, just please let us go. There's no Stockholm syndrome here. We don't love you.
No.
We hate you.
We hate you.
We actually hate you.
I think he has struggled at a lot of the places he's been at as well.
but-
Like PSG, like lost the league to Lille. USA,
Then
it's
don't
not been
be
a
on the
great tenure
Poch
as
train
well.
when he comes home.
Not on some football manager statistics XG business.
but like,
I'm in the business of
Eye
watching it,
test.
right?
Do you think that Zerbi is going to last more than a year? We'll be sitting
think
here in 18 months
if you
having the
back him,
same
yeah, but
conversation.
that's what I'm saying. We want the
Sonny, you're saying if we back him,
yeah, we got.
are we
like,
going? What world do you live
We're
in?
not-
We will be sitting here in 18 months' time. Having the same conversation
And I
and
won't be here.
saying, why didn't we go and get
Don't piss me
Poch
off
when we
like
could have
that.
got
We'll
Poch?
be on the EFL show. Hello and welcome to Inside Spurs talkSPORT's dedicated Spurs show where we talk all things Tottenham Hotspur. This show is sponsored by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org and please gamble responsibly. My name's Majestic and I'm joined as always by Sonny Snelling from Sonny Talk Spurs and fellow Spurs fan and content creator and the happiest lady I've seen in a few weeks is Abbi Summers. How are we, Abs?
Good. The amount of people that have said to me in the last day, I've not seen you smile like this in ages.
You're glowing.
No, but
You're glowing. You look great.
But I don't really know what I'm smiling about because we're still in a relegation zone. We're still in a relegation battle, guys.
I've noticed-
nothing's
And
changed.
we've got no players.
And Madge dodging not coming in for this episode this
Yeah.
week. Me and Abby are here in the flesh, and you've bottled it.
We turn up.
Do you know what? I was representing for us this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast.
Oh, cool. I'll take that.
And plug in the show. So I needed to get some sleep in because you look gorgeous, Theatre, and I keep looking rough as old boots. I even missed my haircut today for the show because I was asleep.
Oh.
Because I'll tell you what, the last 48 hours, I don't know about you guys, it has been intense since Thomas Frank's departure. We're just still unraveling a lot. And can you believe it? That whole Ange situation, you just couldn't write it. You know the whole thing of being Spursy?
Yeah.
I think it goes beyond this whole like soft mentality. It's just the ridiculous bad luck and bad timing to make us look stupid.
It's just DNA of the football club.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not though.
No, it is, Madge. It is.
It's a modern DNA.
No, it's not a modern DNA. Even when we go back to that Barnaby Slater video, which was so spot on, it's ingrained and in the DNA of this football club.
I'm saying the modern. I'm talking about the Bill Nicks. You know, if I speak to my dad about the DNA of Tottenham Hotspur, it's a different approach
Well, we
to
weren't
what we've
Spursy
had to
then. I
suffer.
don't know, when did we become Spursy?
Joe Lewis, Enoch, and Daniel Levy.
Oh, so that'll tell you everything to 25 years of it.
No, see again, I have to disagree with you there, Sonny, because growing up in the 90s, for me, some of the dross. Listen, 1994, yeah, before your time, yeah, when I was a nipper,
Bit of my
right?
age.
Spurs having to beat Oldham to secure Premiership survival. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done it. Right. So, and that was with club legend Ozzy Ardiles. So it has happened before, and I just think like let's just bring it to the Ange situation now. He just told the world everything we already knew about Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, first of all, it was Conte saying it. Every manager says it. Jose, even Pochettino has like hinted it. Obviously, he doesn't hit us as much harder because he's always got something nice to say as well. But it's just stating the obvious. Like the whole stuff about the transfers that we missed out on that he was pushing for, Pedro Neto and Buemo, Semenyo, Gehi, they were on all our lists that we wanted, and we just didn't pay up because that's not what we do. That's not what Spurs have never done, and we hope it will change one day because that's the only way we're going to be able to close the gap. But, he said we're not a big club. The thing is, that's been taken out of context by some outlets, I think, because he's saying we're not in a big club in the sense of how we operate. He does think we are a big club. Like, he had a lot of respect for us, I think, when he did leave and how we treated him towards the end as well. But it's just, it didn't take him doing this interview on the overlap. Yeah, every Spurs fan knew that. Every rival knew that. It's just, everyone can see it.
Yeah,
surely.
I didn't learn anything new from the interview. I didn't learn anything new from any of the quotes I've seen.
I think the confirmation, isn't it? I think for us, hearing it again from another source.
I already knew that. Like, any Spurs fan that was disillusioned or didn't
Must be a happy clap,
like,
innit, or
yeah,
something.
I mean, if the ignorance must be complete bliss if you didn't already know everything he'd already said and stated. Like, I've said it for years and years and years. We do not operate like a big football club. When you have a wage cap and the wage structure as it is, it's impossible to move the club forward. I'm not saying we haven't spent money. We do spend money, but on the wrong players, usually on options C, D, E, F, G, instead of A or B, because we can't compete when it comes to the wages. But that's a lie that we can compete when it comes to wages. We just don't compete. You know, we're the 9th richest football club in the world, and everything he's saying is factually correct. Now, what I have seen today is lots of comments saying, you wanted Ange sacked, and, you know, now how do you feel? You look like an idiot. I don't look like an idiot,
No,
and none
not
of
at all.
us look like an idiot who wanted Ange out. There can be two truths at the same time. You can completely think that Ange Ball is great when it's all working, and in a wonderful magical universe, Ange would still be here and would still be playing football like we did the first 10 games of his reign. But there was enough evidence and enough sample size to see that Ange Ball doesn't work in its format. On top of that, you cannot lose 22 times in a season
100%.
and keep your job. I'm sorry, you can't. Did I want him to go at the end? Yes, I did, because I thought that was warranted, regardless of the trophy. Had the board have said, we're going to keep him and try season 3, would I have been angry
We
at
would
it?
have been in the same situation under Ange right now.
Yeah, we would
I
have.
think.
And I think that he probably would have been sacked by October, but I would have given him another, one last roll of the dice because of the trophy. But do I think that Ange Ball didn't need to be as Angie as it was? Did I see him adapt in Europe? Could he have adapted in the Premier League? Absolutely. Maybe that would have kept him in a job. So there can be two truths at the same time. But what he has said about the football club and how it operates and the structure and the ownership, he's listed players, like we said, and Mbeumo Guehi, Neto Semenyo as an example. I could tell you hundreds and hundreds of players that have come to Tottenham Hotspur wanting to sign, come through those doors, and have ended up
William.
at Chelsea, have ended up at Liverpool, have ended up at Manchester City, because we don't change the wage structure.
No.
So yeah, if you don't act like a big club in terms of what you're willing to do on the
Champagne tastes
pitch.
beer money, isn't it? Like,
The thing is, that's what irritates me. They don't have beer money. They've got plenty of money, plenty of money. And if you're not going to start changing the way that this club operates, what's that thing that it's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results?
Insanity.
This club deserves so much better, and if the owners aren't going to do that, then please just sell up, take your billions that you'll get for it, and honestly just off. At this point, because it's not on all these managers. You can blame the players, you can blame the manager as much as you want, but after how many managers, how many players do we need to go through, right, to end up with the same result? There is one common denominator, and it always has been ENIC and the ownership of this club. So nothing.
Do you feel like
nothing will
hostages,
change.
guys? Do you feel like hostages in your own football club? Like, just please let us go. There's no Stockholm syndrome here. We don't love you.
No.
We hate you.
We hate you.
We actually hate you.
But that's why I always compare it.
I
always compare it to the Cronkies, because everyone said this about the Cronkies for so many years, and they finally woke up, smelt the coffee and spent money, and now they're reaping the benefits. But that's what annoys me about this whole, like, everyone keeps saying it's a new board, it's a new ownership, it's a new CEO, but Daniel Levy put a lot of these people in place. He wanted Vinay Venkatesan at the club, and he seems like a nice guy, and
for what reason though?
but that's it. Thomas Frank was a nice guy. It doesn't mean he's the perfect person for a job, does it? Like, sometimes I think that's why there's been a bit of revisionism on Daniel Levy as well, because everyone's like, oh, he would have sacked him, he would have, it's always, that's what annoys me most about this football club. We're always saying, oh, what would have happened if we kept Ange? What would have happened if we kept Levy? Just move on and look forward.
There's always going to be this revisionism. There's always going to be these rose-tinted glasses about what happened. And to be honest with you, there was hardly anyone left in that fan base that wanted to keep Ange, if they're really honest with themselves. And yes, I understand why some people feel this sentiment towards him because of the Europa League. But let me tell you, this time last year when it was really bad and we were saying, oh my God, it can't get worse than this. And now obviously it has. Now we are glamorising the Ange Postecoglou reign, which the first season, fine, did a good job. And last season, again, had a lot of injuries. But the football was terrible.
But even the
it
first
wasn't
season
even
wasn't
Ange
good.
ball.
The first season wasn't good because that last run of fixtures where we played like Chelsea,
And we had the
Arsenal,
players back,
City, where we obviously, wanted to lose and all that sort of stuff. That was such an awful run as
it
well.
was.
But people don't remember that. And people keep forgetting that during that first season, we got knocked out of the cups really early.
Yep.
We had one
Fulham.
game a week for ages because we didn't have European football. So we did have that grace, and that's why we did start the first 10 games off so well, because it was just one game a week.
Yep.
And people look at that Chelsea game and think it was the best thing they've ever seen. we got absolutely trounced.
Do you know why they think it's the best thing they've ever seen? Don't get me wrong. I was there in the stands having a great time and loving it. I think that people think it's the best thing because it's one of the only times in recent years I can think of a Tottenham team that put everything on the line and like fought for it. And
which we're not seeing now, are we?
Yeah, I mean, we were going. You know, we were losing the game, but they gave absolutely everything for it. And in the last 7 years,
are we talking about a game where Coutts got sent off and Destiny got sent off?
Yeah, and obviously we then got injuries to Maddison and Mickey Van der
Put a bit of context onto that game, right? We went 1-0 up really quickly. Then Sonny scored and it was offside. It was barely offside.
We were
right?
so good as well.
It was like sliding doors moment. If we went 2-0 up there, we would have went 3-0 up, right? Yeah. And the other thing that Chelsea were doing to us in that game on purpose, when it was Poch that was doing it, by the way, because he was the manager, they were just kicking lumps out of us. Yeah. Every time James Maddison got the ball, they was in the back of him kicking him. Like, it got tasty quite early on. They knew how to rile us up, and they did exactly that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very similar to that. And, you know, as I say, that if we won that game and we were top of the league at that time, things could have been very different. But as you said, Sonny, we can't keep looking at as if if that happened, if this happened, we're here now. We are in an absolute mess. The club is in a mess. The PR of the club's in a mess. What I really dislike is the fact that now I've got another manager in Ange Postecoglou who can walk away from Spurs and embarrass us the way that Josie does. Like, I love Man United. I love this club. I love Chelsea. Tottenham? Nah. You know, Ange Postecoglou can feel that same way. Conte can feel that same kind of way. And it's just like, we can't keep doing this. And so we need to stop this now. And all the comments I saw yesterday on X when I was having this discussion about who comes in and who should be the next manager, it all comes back down to the same thing. And the same thing was, you've got to get rid of the board. But at the end of the day, they own it. It's like living in somebody's house and they're the the landlord or the landlady. And we're like, oh, I hate my landlord. You live there. What can we do, guys? And this is when, you know, Change for Tottenham, who have called us out a couple of times, I think, if you've seen Sonny on some of the comments. And some people saying, we moan about the board and that. But no, we actively, I've been on protest before games. Like, I've actively been there.
And on top of that, obviously, it's like some of us do work and cover the games. So it means you can't be there. Yeah. But me personally, when I am working and I'm doing goals, I'm always saying about Change for Spurs. So
if you haven't seen an Abbi rant, then where have you been?
You should. I mean, if they're the people that are calling them out, then like, please listen, because I often back Change for Spurs, and I say that I appreciate what they're doing, even though it's very difficult to do that.
It's a hard fight, isn't it?
It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. I'm more than happy to come join you guys. More than happy to join the Supporters Trust. Hit me up. Slide in my DMs. More than happy to.
Perhaps we give them a platform and inside Spurs for discussion at some point. But that's a whole other thing. But just to bring it all back round to what we were talking about with Ange Postecoglou, he's not saying anything on the overlap that we didn't already know. And I think that's what is the sort of conclusion of it. I just find it really frustrating as a fan. I don't know how you guys feel, or people that are watching this now, that it just feels like, the Gary Nevilles of this world and the Carragers, especially Carragher, so smug with it, right?
Everyone hates us.
Like they take joy in it. They take joy in like, of course they're not saying, I told you they're not a big club. They don't want us to join their table. We don't fit the bill. We don't fit the look. The boys from Tottenham, we don't. And the thing is, we are just falling into their hands because we are proving them right every single time. So, as you said, Sonny, the rose-tinted glasses and what could have happened and what could have been, let's forget that. What do we do now? We have to think about now, guys. And in the last 24 hours, have you had any more thoughts on what we do now?
I mean, I feel like some of what I said yesterday about Pochettino, I do think it is a good appointment. Like, I do actually think.
Listen, Sonny, just be honest.
I'm not backtracking. No, wait.
Listen, you hate him. You hate Pochettino.
I didn't say hate.
I assume you watched Premier League years last night.
No, I didn't actually. I did my own tier list.
That was your homework.
I did my own tier list on my channel. I put every manager under the sun who's free agent, on the odds, all that sort of stuff. Stacked them all up and thought, which manager is going to be the perfect person to take us on? And it was between Zerbi and Poch. I'll be honest, those were my...
listen, I told you off air I'm coming for you today, right? Listen, what has Zerbi done? Yeah, he's just got binned from the French league for losing 5-0 to PSG, right?
Yeah, but obviously we took L5 against PSG, so probably fitting quite well.
Right. But what did he do in the Premier League that set it alight other than go nuts on the sideline?
I think when we look at Brighton and how he was the best Brighton manager they've had in the Premier League era, better than Potter, better than Fabian Hersler, who they've got now. He had a distinct style of football. He improved individual talent. He had a team there. You know, he got the best out of like Danny Welbeck and Lewis Dunk and players like that.
Arguably Danny Welbeck's best season.
Danny Welbeck's having the best season of his career now.
Yeah, but I feel like that was revived under Roberto De Zerbi. Like we
He's
saw.
been gone for 2 years.
But I feel like the way he platformed Brighton, and the thing is, the way I see it is Tottenham are trying to operate.
How much Brighton football did you actually watch under
No,
the
it's like he had a distinct style. We used the box, like
what was
playing
his
out from the
distinct
back.
style?
Like he was one of the best, like progressive, like playing out for the back managers we've seen.
Man, I'm calling
he
you.
was. He was.
But even so, even if everything you say is correct, he's not the right character to fit at Tottenham Hotspur.
But the thing is,
there's
who
only
is
one
the right
person.
character? But we don't even like. I feel like Pochettino has like moved on a lot.
He hasn't.
Since,
He wants to come back.
I feel like there's that energy though that I see, and maybe it was because of Daniel Levy. Maybe that's where it came to a head, that him and Daniel Levy. So maybe
he'd also had enough probably of what was going on. I think that they personally didn't recover that well after losing the Champions League final. I know that hit them hard.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you know, it was a big job that they did it in 5.5 years at Tottenham with lots and lots of, you know, he was effectively operating with one hand behind his back, Sonny. Like,
but then what has changed now that we can say that he's going to come in?
Because we know that we made the mistake.
Yeah.
We should never have sacked him in the first place. We've had a nearly 7-year break. He's been at different clubs. He has won things in other places. I appreciate that.
I think he has struggled at a lot of the places he's been at as well.
but-
Like PSG, like lost the league to Lille. USA,
Then
it's not
don't
been
be
a
on the
great tenure
Poch
as
train
well.
when he comes home.
Hang about. Whoa. Yeah, USA. Who's going to
The
be pulling up trees with the
expectation.
United States
But
football
he should
team?
be.
Come on.
He should really. If he's that high caliber coach, he
How?
should be
Where-
transferring
I think
that
you're looking
team.
at it
In
from a
what-
completely different viewpoint. Like
Mate,
what we're saying is,
do you know what?
Yeah, go on, Madge.
As I say, you're on some football manager statistics XG business.
but like,
I'm in the business of
eye
watching it,
test.
right?
Yeah.
But
the eye
they've
test.
both achieved the same. Like De Zerbi and Poch are both, I think, like the same level when we look at them as coaches. What they've achieved.
What
how
about the
they've grown.
character and what about the person?
I think, yeah, but De Zerbi's got that character to come in and shake it up a little bit as well.
We don't need that. We've had
we
that.
definitely do.
We had that as Conte. We've
definitely
had that as
do.
Jose. Do you think that De Zerbi is going to last more than a year? We'll be sitting
think-
here in 18 months
if you
having the
back him,
same
yeah, but
conversation.
that's what I'm saying. We want the.
Sonny, you're saying if we back him,
Yeah, we got.
are we going? What world do you live in?
We're not backing him.
But I just don't think. The thing that worries me about Poch as well, it's not me like just dissing him as a manager. It's coming back into the same situation and ruining him. Like I don't want to
Don't
ruin
worry
him as well.
about him.
No, I will worry about
He's
him.
a
I
big
will worry
boy.
about him.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about him. He wants to come back for some bizarre reason, and I don't know why. He loves us as much as we love him.
I think he's got Stockholm syndrome. He must do.
Maybe he does have Stockholm syndrome. The club is slightly different to when he came in last time. Daniel is not there anymore.
I think it's worse though coming in
It
last
is
time.
worse.
Like last time he had
It
to
is
deal with
worse.
like Adebayor getting rid of Yunus Kabul, like that first squad.
That's a job of a manager,
And he
Sonny.
had some miracles. Harry Kane, Dele Alli,
So let him work
Son.
some miracles again.
But I think now it's
that's
even
another
harder.
good point. That's
This will be
that's
the
another
hardest job
really
he ever
good point.
inherits.
That's up to him. He
That's
wants
another.
it.
Let me just jump in here, right? Because people said that he failed with the best Spurs squad that we ever had. He made the best Spurs
Yeah.
squad we ever had.
We failed
Musa
him.
Dembele. Musa
but I
Dembele,
agree
when he
with
came to
that. I
Spurs,
totally agree with
was
that.
a failed striker from Fulham. He turned him into this unbelievable
I agree with that.
midfielder that we had through. And don't get me wrong, I think some people look at the Musa Dembele reign as with rose-tinted glasses. Musa was great, yeah, but if he was even better than and consistent, he would have went to Real Madrid because he was that good when he was
Yeah.
on form, right? But listen, the couple of years, and again, I need to work out the sort of how you establish success in the Premier League. For me, when you're finishing second, third, fourth with Tottenham, that's pretty decent in considering Tottenham's.
Yeah, but that happened. Like
De Zerbi finished sixth. So how has he done better in the Premier League than Pochettino?
that I think was like a bigger achievement because of what the club that Brighton went from to. I feel like
I get that, but that was also foundational work that was put in by someone like Chris Hughton and by Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Like the same way that Pochettino came in and he'd also had some foundation work that had been laid by Martin Jol, that had also been laid by Harry Redknapp. You know, and in all honesty, I'm not the biggest Tim Sherwood fan, but Tim Sherwood was massively responsible for finding Harry Kane along with Les Ferdinand. Like, of course, when you get a generational player in Harry Kane come through your your system, and Pochettino was great in the sense he even spoke about it on the High Performance podcast the other day. He said that the club wanted to bring in a third striker. Harry Kane wouldn't have got his shot. They loaned him out countless times.
People forget that AVB actually was one of the person who did start playing Harry Kane. He played him in the Carabao Cup. I remember a game against Villa at Villa Park.
I've
seen Harry Kane and
Jermaine.
Jermaine Defoe. Seeing Harry Kane and Jermaine Defoe together, I think Harry Kane was like number 37 then. But just to bring it back around again with the Zerbi situation, we are in a mess. Yeah,
but there's somebody but what is there to say that Poch is like? That's what worries me. The club is in such a mess. There's no.
So you think adding Zerbi to that is going to help?
Okay,
I'm saying that Poch isn't the total answer. Like, surely there's other managers we can explore as well. Like,
let me come in here because
taking
over messes. Pochettino walked into Chelsea after the mess that was Graham Potter. Now, I've likened the Thomas Frank reign at Spurs to Graham Potter at Chelsea. Very similar circumstances. Loved managers at their club. Why didn't they keep him then?
Like, why didn't they keep him then, Chelsea?
Because Pochettino got told basically by the Saccarunos that you're going to have no say in this, you're going to have no say in that. You're going to have this set piece coach. You're going to have defensive coach. They want to run an American franchise.
Yeah. They didn't enjoy their time at Chelsea whatsoever.
But I even agree. Like Enzo Maresca
went
in there and made it even
Chelsea.
better. Like, he went and won stuff. He got them top 4. Like, I would rather look at Enzo Maresca than I would Pochettino as well.
Sonny, I respect your, but I don't actually. I just don't understand. I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely crazy. You're searching for something that doesn't exist. We are Tottenham Hotspur. We are in the depths of hell right now.
Why we always say about looking up and looking ahead? Why are we looking back?
Do you know how many managers we've had that we've looked up and looked ahead? Has anyone done a better job than Mauricio Pochettino?
But they weren't backed either.
Would you try? So you're telling me that Zerbi's going to be backed?
But that's the thing. Like, it's all
Pochettino,
on the club.
I
it's
trust.
all on the club.
I've watched him work miracles with not a lot of expenditure.
But we don't want him to work miracles again. We want him to try and build up.
No, we do. We need a miracle, Sonny. Yeah, we're so off it.
And I think
we're so off it.
Son, we're so off it, we need to get back to being nearly.
We're not even competitive. We're a good season for us would be finishing in the top 10 at this point. We are so miles off it.
I think he'd struggle with that right now. Honestly, there's
no one else in the world I would trust more than Pochettino. The same way I wouldn't trust anyone as much as Redknapp to try and get the best out of this situation. And I just wanted to say one more thing on him at PSG, because this is another thing that always irritates me. And I always do accept he has his faults. And I don't want it to seem like I think he's perfect, because I have multiple times
that's the point I'm coming from.
Said that he's not perfect. But his time at PSG, when they obviously when they didn't win the league in that first season, they took over, I think, in the January time. This whole theory of having, you've got Neymar, you've got Messi, you've got Mbappe. It's not FIFA. It is not FIFA.
I agree with that.
Like, you have to have players.
Alonso at Real Madrid.
You have to have players that want to work, want to track back, want to do the dirty work. And in that team, they didn't have that. Okay, fine. You can sit on paper. Football's not played on paper. The same way we all said that Liverpool should go and win the league and at a canter again this year because of the players they've signed. Football's not played on paper. You have to have workhorses in that team. And whether or not he didn't win it that first season, he won it the second season. You can't carry players like that. You can carry one, you can't carry three.
And also, as you're saying that, does that make Vincent Kompany a bad manager for not winning it with Bayern Munich in his first season? Because he took him a season to get it right there. I don't think he should have got that job,
really. I know he's obviously doing a storming job now, but failing at Burnley, I mean, maybe he didn't have the resources, and then getting that Bayern Munich job.
Got the resources.
But again, Sonny, you know what Bayern Munich saw in Vincent Kompany? A personality. That once they'll get it right, this is the right guy. And they'd seen all the things at Burnley of him shouting at the players.
There's nothing at this football club, at our football club, where I'm like, there's anything for, like, if I'm Pochettino, I'm going in and I'm like, am I going to get supported by Johan Lack? Like, we've got to remember the people he's going into work with now. Like, they're not good enough.
So tell me why Zerbi would be a better option.
At the end of the day, I would take Pochettino if it was a new ownership, because then it is a proper fresh, and then they're going, right, we're going to... It's like basically what happened with the Saudi takeover at Newcastle. They went, right, Steve Bruce, out now, get our man in. That's what I mean. But with now, I don't know if maybe, I'll say new ownership and Vinay and all that, maybe they will think this Poch is our man more than obviously because Daniel Levy was frank.
But we're dreaming at the moment because we're not going to get the new ownership at the moment as it stands. So you have to look at it with this current ownership, someone who knows how the club operates, putting people that love Tottenham back into Tottenham. Zerbi couldn't give a toss about Tottenham. Doesn't care as long as he's paying his wages, and you'll be off again in 18 months when he inevitably
argument
gets
isn't
sacked.
just about Zerbi. It's about like, Any manager.
Go on.
You need to have
Sonny,
someone.
give us, finish your argument because I'd like to come back on it. I'd love to hear more.
I am just worried, and this is not just aimed at Pochettino because I love him. Honestly, he's the best manager I've seen at this football club. I'm just worried that I know it's scratching that itch, but my worry is he comes in and if it goes wrong and it falls to pieces, then what? That's what worries me. I feel like there's the managerial market in the summer, especially now that Tuchel's confirmed that he's going to stay at England. There's a really good pool of managers there that you can look at. My worry is
give me some more names other than De Zerbi. I want the names.
Well, I think you're going to just laugh. I think Iriola. I think that he's like there is some good potential. But look at the job he's done at Bournemouth. It's like even
what
this
has he
season.
done? This is look, we you know what it is. You said about Abbi said about the insanity thing, right? We have tried everything, right? Thomas Frank. He's kept Brentford in the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Oh, Iriola.
Yeah, but Iriola's more of an attacking style, more press.
Iriola is the option we should have gone for in the summer.
That's who I wanted.
That was my first choice.
That was my first choice.
Now, where we're going to have a summer where the actual correct choice and the one that we should never have sacked in the first place is available, is literally twerking everywhere, saying, "Take me back." I don't know why, but I love this club.
Yeah.
Why would we look anywhere else?
I'm worried at that. Because he's so desperate as well. There's part of me that's like, but what is the reason to coming back?
He loves us, Sonny, for some bizarre reason. He loves us.
That's worrying.
He loves
Sonny,
us,
and
it is
because we've
worrying.
abused him as well.
This isn't
worry.
even a dig, yeah. But Sonny, you know when Poch was there, how often was you at White Hart Lane?
Yeah, I went all the time.
I
loved him. I loved him. I'll be honest.
I
wanted him to leave at the end because the form wasn't good enough.
Yeah, of course.
The way we're talking about Thomas Frank, like the injuries and all that, but we can still there was even the Bayern Munich game 7-2, and that was like one of the Niko Kovac's Bayern. It wasn't even a good Bayern Munich.
Can you see all the
actually.
factors that got us to that point, though?
Yeah, but the thing is, I just worry that won't happen. I can't see that happening, and maybe it's because we're in the epicenter of the explosion that's happened this week.
Of hell.
Yeah,
but that I can't see how we get from here to here with Pochettino at the moment.
So
that
for
is
example,
my argument.
when you're in a really bad situation in life, who do you call on? Someone you can trust.
Not my ex.
Somebody that you can put your hand out to. Yeah, so someone you put your hand out to and go, "I'm in a mess here. Please help me out."
Of course, I'd love Poch to come in and do all this. Of course I do. I want to see this football team back to where I think and you think and Madge thinks it belongs. But I can't at the moment. I think, because I'll be honest, I've gone from being a really half glass full Spurs fan to empty. Because at the moment I'm like, we're worrying about Poch, which is the summer. But he's not going to come now, obviously, because of the World Cup. No. Who do we get now to even get to the end? We've got to think about that first.
Well, I feel like
that's a
we've
great,
been lucky this week. The results have sort of gone our way.
Well, that's a separate question, but obviously we're talking about a long-term replacement.
Yeah.
And in terms of a long-term replacement, I'm not interested anymore in this manager's done this, De Zerbi's done this, Iriola, whatever.
I'm just throwing, basically, we're throwing De Zerbi off our list.
I will be so angry if this club go and do something so stupid like that, because I know, and I will happily bet on it, because I know this club better than I honestly know myself. We will be sitting here in 18 months' time having the same conversation and saying, why didn't we go and get Poch when we could have got Poch?
We'll be on the EFL show.
Yeah,
we'll be on the EFL show.
We might be in League One at that point, Madge, in all honesty, if they get this wrong again.
You've got a great point, though, son, because what do we do now? This is the big question. Now, you want to talk about twerking? Listen, Harry Redknapp's been doing a little twerk in front of the cameras on Sky Sports.
Does he know what twerk is,
and you know what's funny? Is I see this comedian on TikTok going, listen, I know Harry's been out in the game for a bit and the tactics now and the XGs and that, but he done an impression of what he reckons he would do. He'd come into the dressing room. I don't know if you saw it.
I've not seen this. I need to see this.
Oh, so he's like, well, who's the one on the wing? Mateus, tell Terry. Listen, Terry, you're better than you look. Do me a favour, run down the wing, skin him, and then put the ball in the big Dom. He'll head the ball in, lovely jubbly, right? And he's like, all we got to do is score more goals than them. You're better than this. You're playing rubbish. Now stop being rubbish. Get out there. And I was like, Yes.
They need a bit of that.
This.
They need a bit of it. They literally do need a bit of it.
It's basics, isn't it?
Rather than
That's
it's like when you got the second ball, make sure you got the second ball, and then you hold the defence and move over here. And like everyone's been coached to pieces. Just let these lads play football for a bit, and we'll see a different outcome. And give them something to drive forward. And one thing that you can all see post Ange and seeing the overlap stuff is, at least he was able to galvanise them in the big moment, going, you see up there, there's no Kane. There's no you, Sonny. There's the old people. Get yourself up there. At least he could actually do a rousing speech. I don't think Thomas Frank could do that. And now that's what we need right now. Let's talk about Robbie Keane quickly, because he's been questioned about the Tottenham position. Tell us more, Sonny.
Yeah, I mean, after his game against for Ferencváros last night, I think he stormed out of the press conference. He was sort of saying that I don't think he wants. We've got to remember they're in for the Hungarian title this year, and they're in a Europa League playoff. So they're a serious outfit. We played them last year, didn't we? Obviously before his tenure, and they were a good little team. I just think, and Matt Law made a really good point. We were just discussing it, weren't we, before we came live? He doesn't necessarily want to leave that and go and manage Spurs for an interim to then hold the seat for Pochettino. And I think Robbie Keane, for the way I've seen his teams play and set up and all that, he's probably got a bright future in football, in top tier management. But this is a big step and like a massive, I feel like he's been cat amongst the pigeons. To me, I think Celtic maybe. I feel like there's a step before this, maybe two steps before this step. And I just don't think it's right for him at this moment. I mean, I feel like he's progressing well. And I like that these British managers are going to foreign countries to work their way up, because trying to grow in the lower leagues, even in this country, it's like the spotlight's on you because you're an ex-player. And I just think, I would. I mean, I'd love it. I think I'd be for it, but I don't think it's right for him. I'm thinking of him as well.
You need to stop thinking about these players. They're going to be on like a couple million a year, son. Yeah. They're not going to be worried about you.
I know.
It's their careers, it's their choice. But I think that it was very wishful thinking for anyone thinking about Robbie Keane. In all honesty, he's doing a very good job where he is at Ferencváros. He's not going to leave, for 4 months. I know that he might love Spurs, but no one with a career path and who wants to prove a point is going to do that. That one never really crossed my mind. Other options on the table? Anyone else other than Harry come to mind?
It's a struggle, isn't it? Because there's not really anyone who you'd... Sean Dyche?
No,
knows how to keep a team.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that Forest is a whole different kettle of fish, but I think that we need to start putting Tottenham people back into Tottenham.
Yeah.
And the reason I say Redknapp, I'm not on this notion that, he's 79. Like I said on our emergency show yesterday, he's not the one doing the 90 minutes. He's got to sit there and coach. As far as I'm aware, you can still watch football, you can still coach football. I'm sure he hasn't not watched any type of football in the last 11 years since he last had a job.
Throwing in Tim Sherwood with Harry Redknapp 100%, or something like that?
But that was part of his team last time. Tim, Les, Clive Allen, get the band back together. Put Jermaine Defoe in there. He's done his coaching badges now.
Get Kev.
Yeah,
bring
them all back. Joe Jordan. A bit of passion.
Listen,
I never forget
remember Joe Jordan against Gattuso?
Yeah, the AC Milan
Joe
game.
Jordan against...
That's exactly what we need. We need Tottenham people who love the club, knows what it means to be at the club, not worried to stick their hand round, the throat of Gattuso, and that's what you got to do.
So funny.
And I wish I could.
Joe Jordan literally scored Gattuso. He's going, "See my song, that's the game. Me, wrong gay, screaming at him, wrong gay."
I'd love to say there was another option.
There's really not, though.
There's more modern, but this whole thing. Well, can he do this? And does he understand XG? I mean, it's so disrespectful to Harry Redknapp, who has managed for such a long time, is so incredibly experienced. You think that he doesn't understand football now?
My question though is, I know he's been on talkSPORT discussing it as well and saying, I'd give it a go. Do you actually think he would take it though?
Yeah, why would you say it if he didn't believe it? It's not like we're doing this for fun. It's not for and gigs.
Because the last thing he won or competed in was I'm a Celeb. So that's my
because he was retired. But when it's an emergency situation,
coming up as well. Cheltenham is coming up.
Yeah, well, I think for another crack of the whip, no pun intended, at Tottenham, and to keep us up, Harry Houdini did it the first time. Plus, he's also got experience with us in the Champions League. Of course, it's a different team. We've moved on a lot, but it's a different Tottenham. But
he's also done advisory roles. I think we forget that he did. Did he go out to Jordan and Birmingham? He did some roles at those clubs. So he's still got a. At the end of the day, we wouldn't keep getting him on talkSPORT if we didn't think he had a footballing brain.
One thing I wouldn't ever question is Harry Redknapp's experience in coaching, and I think it is incredibly disrespectful for people to turn their nose up at Harry Redknapp.
You know what it is, Abby, and it's ageism. It's
I think it is
straight up
ageism. It is.
It's disgusting, and it needs to be called out, because I work with Pards on a Sunday, and the way that these managers are overlooked at times for this. Oh, we got a 35-year-old who's got an XG, and they've done a really good stint in the Russian
league. He loves the field
league.
tilt. Shut up.
Oh yeah, and he's got a double pivot in midfield, and it's fantastic. What about these guys that have actually done stuff in the Premier League, like Harry Redknapp? What did Harry Redknapp do with Tottenham Hotspur? Guide us to our first ever Champions League finish.
Change the game. Change the expectation for us.
Exactly.
As did Martin Yole. As did Poch.
You know, Abby, I'd love to maybe come back one day and manage Tottenham with my
Honestly, do you know what? I like this guy. I would happily reach out to Martin Yole myself and say, Martin, you're a candidate for me. You're a candidate for me. Please come back. But I think it's just important for the 12 games to have someone in place that can get everything just back on side. I'm not looking for him to be a tactical genius. I'm not looking for him to pep. I'm not looking for him to do XYZ formations, whatever. I'm looking for him to put footballers in the right positions for what we've got, which is not a lot in all honesty because of the injuries. Play what you've got, give him some confidence, let wingers do their thing, let the striker do their thing, have a back four for all I care, and whatever in midfield, and just tell them, go and play. You play for Tottenham, you play with freedom, you play with creativity, defend when you need to defend, attack when you need to attack. It ain't that hard. And Michael Carrick has gone in at Manchester United and done the exact same thing.
He is a good coach, though, Michael
Carrick.
He
is a good coach, but he's gone back to basics.
Are you saying Harry Redknapp's not a good coach?
No, I'm just saying.
How old are you, Sonny?
No, 30.
So you're 2 years younger than me.
All I'm saying is I feel like people, not you, but people are disrespecting Michael Carrick like he's just walked in and gone.
But the thing that Michael Carrick is a good coach, I'm sure.
And he's got Steve Holland. I think that helps as well. Like,
so how old's Steve Holland?
They're building a good backroom.
Sure, but how old's Steve Holland?
I don't know.
Because he's got experience, right?
Of course, yeah. But
over 60.
But then I would probably like Harry to come in as an advisor. To, like he's on the coaching staff with someone.
Why? Why? He's a manager.
I feel like
Steve Holland's 55, by the way.
I could see him doing that.
He's how what? He's how old?
55.
Sorry, Steve, if you're listening.
Yeah,
wow. 60.
Wow.
All right, you're 55. Okay, 55.
Yeah, but you're dismissing legendary managers because of their age, Sonny.
I'm not at all.
I think he's not capable of doing the job that he did for like 45 years.
Yeah, I know, but he has been a long time out of the game.
But he still watches football.
Yeah.
It's football.
It's football. It's not rocket science.
The ball goes in the goal. Don't let it go in your goal.
Don't let it go in yours.
It's probably the best season to come into because it's so physical and set pieces and all that.
Sure. It's
just...
it don't need to be this hard.
If someone had told me this last year that Harry Redknapp would be coming back, come on, be honest, would you have been shocked if he was? Surely.
Nothing surprising in this football club, Sonny, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And you know what we need to do and get ourselves in check as well, and I said it this morning on breakfast with Gabby and Big Al, is who do we think we are?
Exactly.
We think we're too good for Pochettino. Are you mad? Like,
I've not said we're too good for him. I've just said, like...
There is an air of arrogance about it, though.
But I think the situation... Like, I'm not saying from
he's
coming to a situation that is like a bomb site.
But so would Zerbi, so would Iriola. Yeah. What's the difference? I'd rather it be someone that is trusted, that we all trust.
And Abby, and gentle. He'll be gentle
He'll
with
be
us.
gentle and kind with us.
If I was him, I'd take one look at it and be like...
But he's not doing that.
I'm not sure about this.
Can I just paint the picture? I'll paint the picture. It's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, yeah? It's a match day. All of a sudden, Poch walks out for the first time and does the clap round like that.
Oh, I'll back him. I'll back it if it happens. Of course I'll back it.
The energy and the whole stadium will change. Mate, I left my tickets empty on Tuesday night because I knew what was going to go on. People can say I'm not a fan or not a supporter for not going. I've paid my money. I made my choice because I know the dross that was served up, as we saw in that first half. I've had enough. That place in the last... Since Conte's gone, right? And obviously, Ange had that start at the beginning. We had a few limbs. And again, people forget, like, in actual fact,
I think that's what it is. I'll be
there.
honest. I think I'm damaged, guys. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like, I put all my eggs in the Ange basket. Who's that? Poch, yeah.
Even still.
We've had so many false dawns that I thought Mate, like it was from Conte, I think, because I think Mourinho was a bit done by the time he came in. I thought Conte was the one, and I feel like with Conte, if he was backed, I know obviously he's an attitude and he thinks he's bigger than us.
I liked Conte.
But like there was moments where it's like, what if he had Van de Ven instead of Ben Davis? Or
sure, but there's a lot of if what's
yeah, I know. Yeah,
what if Pochettino was back?
That is revisionism.
What if Jose was back? What if Conte was back? What if Ange was back?
And then Ange, I was really like. Obviously, that first 10 games, we were all like, wow, this is what it can be like. And then that unravelled. Same with Frank. I really thought Frank was good. Like, it's like coming to that stage now where I feel like Poch, I can see it now. Poch will get announced. I'll do a video saying this is how we set up. We'll win a couple of games. And then I can see, I'll be like, I feel like I'm just getting let down, guys, all the time.
But you know what, son? Go on. You're bang on, and this is the problem, and we're part of the problem.
Speaking for experience.
We are part of the problem because everything's compounded. We're over-analysing everything.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. Just
let's get back to vibes. Let's get back to vibes.
Might I just add to what you just said? I agree with everything you said. We are all incredibly damaged by this football club. We are survivors of it. We are Tottenham Hotspur survivors.
We're like cockroaches, aren't we? That's what it is in the nuclear blast.
We are. Well, I don't even say by the football club. I actually just say we are survivors of this board, of ENIC. And one thing I would say is if Poch comes in the summer, what he said 7 years ago, that it's going to be painful and it's going to be a rebuild, but you can't have a lovely house with furniture that doesn't match. Yeah. Make no mistake, next season will probably be the same. And it's going to take time. The same way it did when he came in the first time. That 2014-15 season, it wasn't brilliant. No. But you've got to give it time, and that is someone that I will happily give the trust and the time to.
I think that's the bit where I'm like, because I'm saying I'm on the fence, that's the bit where I'm like, I will give him time.
Because of the history.
And also, I feel like going into press conferences, he'll be like, really come across well. Like, there is that part of it. I just, if you're going to give someone the time to change it and the patience, it's got to be someone that you trust. What happens if he goes far with the US, though? What happens if he goes to a stage with the US and he gets them to say he got them to the quarterfinal? But what happens if he did though?
He won't.
He could do though.
You're such a warrior. Yeah. You're such a warrior. My God.
Well, there are things to worry about, guys, because we now have 11 days to prepare for the North London derby. How good is it to see Arsenal go into a game where they're only 3 points ahead of Manchester City, by the way? Could it be us that derail Arsenal season game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium like we did those years ago with Conte, right? This is why it's so important, that next game. But we are running on fumes, guys. Let's talk about Odobert, an ACL. I feel so sorry for that guy because I threw him in the scrap heap and thought, I'm done with you. Then the start of this year, in 26, a couple of games against Aston Villa in the FA Cup, a couple of other European games, I looked at him and I thought, you know what? There might be something here if a Pochettino, for example, comes in and helps develop the young man. I feel for the young lad, Sonny.
I mean, it was... Why does it always happen to our players? You never... Like, the way he sort of... It was like a nothing challenge, and the way he landed on the replay, it just, like... His whole leg was just straight, and I was sitting there just thinking, this is a guy, you just said it there, Madge. Last couple of weeks, he's shown he can go to that next level. I thought at one stage he had, like, pillow feet when he was striking the ball. He just couldn't connect, and then he's had a couple of goals, a few assists as well, and he looks like a different player. I don't know... Weirdly enough, since the Kudus injury, he's been playing on the right as well. I think he's really comfortable in that position, so it's really good to see. But yeah, it's just, again, another player that we could do.
I actually forgot we've got Kudus.
Yeah, there's literally sums up, doesn't it?
Anyway.
But like,
I know.
Now we're at a stage where it's hard to guess what our lineup's going to be, because now it's probably good that Thomas Frank has gone, because at least Tell gets a sniff. But it's now like we've got Kolo Muani still hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League. Solanke, I still feel like there's a bit of ring rust there. Like, we're now relying on the players.
Ring rust? The geezer before the other night.
There's still a little bit.
Five.
There's still a little bit of, like, you can tell.
Do you know what? You are definitely damaged from Spurs. You need an early night. Yeah, you need a bath.
You need a long hard look at
soothing
yourself.
music and a Horlicks. Ring rust. Poor Solanke comes back from...
Do you know what I think the biggest problem has been with all of our attacking play? They're so isolated.
Yeah.
They're so Thomas Frank. They're so isolated. Like, it's not even necessarily on them, because if you actually have a look through the stats of this season in terms of big opportunities created, I think we were actually big opportunities actually taken. We were up there with the highest stats, but we weren't just creating the opportunities.
Yeah.
Someone coming in who's going to be like, right, go on, push up the pitch. You know, you want Xavi Simons up there. You want all of you pushing up at the same time when you're going for it and on the break. Then it connects the dots a little bit more. There's no point of just having 1, 2, 3 here and then everyone else is all the way back, on the halfway line. So. Yeah, I don't know. This team basically picks itself as it does because we've only got 11.
Usually say it when it's positive, not when it's like.
I mean, no one's going to be back.
Fifth name on the team sheet.
Well, no, I don't think anyone will be back for the North London derby, will they? No.
We might get a call up, guys.
Yeah.
I think it's basically what you see is kind of what you get. You know, at the moment, obviously now minus Odebert as well. So our bench the other night was of senior players: Kinski, Kolomwani, Tel, Polinia. Yeah, that was it. And then everyone else was kids.
You might actually get to see Lucas finally play.
Yeah,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Be nice to see him play actually at some point. Don't know if the derby's on, but
most hyped youngster we've ever had, and we just don't ever get to see him.
I saw a tweet that was.
I'll tell you who would play him.
Oh, who? Zerbi. Yeah.
Zerbi.
I saw a good tweet about that.
And then asked to fight him afterwards.
Yeah.
There was a good tweet about Luca Williams-Barnett. It was like, Luca Williams-Barnett in the North London derby makes his debut, whips it top corner, knee slide, 6-1. That sums up at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is. And again, I just think this podcast today has been a reflection of our fan base right now. Like last night I said, on X, I can't even get through my mentions because it's like, everyone's not piling on me, against me. Some are with me, some are against me. And it comes back to the Poch thing. Just to round things off here, we're talking about the Poch because I've made my feelings very clear on Pochettino and why he's the fit for Spurs. I just want to debunk some of the myths, as we said. People talk about, you went to PSG and you lost the league in a one-horse race. It's just like, you don't have a right to win the league just because it's an easier league. We saw it by Bayern Munich and Vincent Kompany. So there's my comparison there. He's gone on, and obviously he's improved Bayern Munich because he's been there. Just because you've got Messi and Mbappe and Neymar doesn't mean you're going to have a football team. They've all said it. Once Enrique came in and made a football team, they won the Champions League and they won it at a canter, and they looked unbelievable. So then, like we said, back to his time at Chelsea. His time at Chelsea, he was a flop. And I was having an argument with a Chelsea fan about this. We were 10th all season until the last 5 games, and then we finished 6th. I'm like, where did you finish? 6th. Well, then you finished 6th. It doesn't matter. If you were 17th all year, if you win your last 10 games, that shows that you can go on a bit of a run. And eventually, once everyone's clocked out to play under the gaffer, they done all right. A little bit similar to when he came in with us and that sliding door moment against Aston Villa where Harry Kane scores the deflected free kick. Things are going in a better way. Yeah, but he's flopped with the best Spurs squad we ever had. Nobody can tell me when we bought £5 million Dele Alli, we thought he'd be doing what he did at Selhurst Park. There's a reason he did that, and there's a reason he's not done it since. The environment he was in, the way he was nurtured by those people. I know firsthand from the people that were in the club at the time, coaching as well, what those sessions used to look like, what the little intricacies that Poch used to film the training sessions, and he'd see people talking to one another. What are they talking about? Is he okay? Why is he like that? Why is he over there? There are so many nuances that Abby's talking about as well that you can't have down on a piece of paper of an XG moment or his philosophies, this and that. Sometimes it comes back down to just the human element
100%.
of how's this person making me feel? We know this ourselves. We got a lovely gang here we work with. We've got a top producer in Kev. If we had a different producer, we might not be pulling out these amazing shows because we would turn up and go, I don't want to do this. When you're in an environment that's got positive energy, there's a positive outcome. And that is one thing I think Pochettino can instill in this club. We are lost in the dark. Papa Poch, come home.
I just need a bowl of lemons, don't I? That's what I need, that positive...
You are a lemon.
I weren't like this a couple of months ago, even with the dire football we've been watching.
Everything
this week's been a toll on me, honestly.
Everything you just said is spot on, and I think that's another thing. The human element of it is so important, and it's one of the staples of a Pochettino team in terms of their in-house, how they run their staff. I know that. Maj knows that. They are so bothered about how everyone is doing from a mental standpoint, and they give so much support. It's not just a job when it comes to Pochettino and his coaching staff. It's it's everything, and
There's a reason people genuinely shed tears when they left. They genuinely shed tears.
And there's also a reason why they still have great relationships with those players as well.
Just to move on quickly, not that we actually really care too much, but what's next for Thomas Frank?
Job centre. Looking for the yellow pages.
You're harsh today, Sonny.
If I was him, and being the football purist he is, he should take time off. Like sort of like the likes of Pep did eventually, didn't they? They take a year off because I feel like he has been in the frying pan. But if we are to give him a job, I mean, first of all, it looks like Vita Pereira is going to go to Forest. I would have put him in there maybe as like a as an option, maybe in the Championship, but Palace.
I think Palace.
I think Palace would be a no-brainer because I think with Oliver Glasner going, they need a bit of a reset as well. And at Palace, it's a little bit of a higher calibre than Brentford, but he'll be able to do what he does without the pressure of it being Tottenham Hotspur. Because no offence to Palace, obviously big club in South London, but he'll be able to implement stuff easier. And actually, maybe not with Brendan Johnson. I've just realised.
Paul Brennan, that move is not for him, is it? If Thomas Frank
That's the only thing.
By the way, Eagles fans, I recognise your FA Cup winners, and the Community Shield winners. I'm not going to just call you a big team in South London.
I did reference the FA Cup. Set me up.
I think that would probably be like a decent job for him. I think,
I think so.
We've always said, I have maintained, I think he's a good coach. It just wasn't the right fit. And I think that, a job at Palace would be the right fit for him. But I don't think people
And I don't dislike Thomas Frank.
No.
He can have an applause when he comes back to the stadium as a gentleman. Because
if we stay up, Madge, if we stay up, if not, maybe not. But I would say that in terms of, as a coach, don't let what's happened at Tottenham make you think he's not a bad coach, because he is a good coach. It just was never going to work at this club.
And I think that the best stuff he did was, in the Championship, even like Wolves. I feel like if Rob Edwards maybe isn't the end goal for them, maybe he could do a job there.
Do you not think you're being slightly disrespectful telling him he's a Championship manager?
Well, listen, before Sonny gets himself into even more trouble, thank you very much, guys. It's been brilliant to double up this week. And, of course, on the week where Thomas Frank is handed his P45 from Tottenham Hotspur. We still don't have a manager. We've got no players. And our next game is against the best team in the country that happen to be our mortal enemies. Other than that, it's been a positive week. Thank you very much, guys. We'll be back next week. Don't forget the show is sponsored by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly. Thank you to Abbi and Sonny. Papa Poch, come home. Up the Spurs.